to go in normal time. Liverpool 3-0. Corner taken quickly, Origi!
Hello and welcome to the Reds Cast podcast, the podcast by Liverpool fans, for Liverpool fans. I have no idea why I'm in such a good mood because we've had two shocking results. Joined as always by Ste. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like, rate and a subscribe. Costs you nothing, takes you 2 seconds, helps us out loads because YouTube's algorithm makes you do it. Let's get into the pod. How are we, Ste?
Do we have to get into it, really? Yeah, it's been a disheartening week.
Definitely disheartening. But are we disheartened in a sense that we've got half a team?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're still joint top of the league after the weekend's results,
Yeah, just off goal difference.
So
Spurs are flying.
It feels like we're being a little bit like spoiled brats throwing our teddies
yeah,
because we're still top of the league with half a squad.
Even the media, they were saying Spurs are having the best season of their lives, but Liverpool are having a shocker and we're still joint top with them.
Yeah, so that's why it kind of feels like we're being spoiled brats a bit. But we're getting that off. Let's have it right. We're getting that off.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we could delve in. I think we're going to leave the Atalanta game. I was going to delve into it, but we didn't do a podcast after the Atalanta game.
I don't think that would have been able to be aired, would it?
No. I was
the feeling after that game.
Yeah, just feeling more like the Reds can play better than that, and it was like they didn't want to, ultimately.
Yeah.
But the best... To me, it felt as though because Jürgen didn't go full strength, the players knew that that wasn't important at Brighton, for example.
Yeah. There was definitely an eye on the next game, which you...
Stupid to an extent, because now we've got to go full strength against Ajax.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, you do understand it to a point because of the congestion in the fixtures and the timing of the games, and we'll get into all that in a bit. But as a fan, you just want to see them play the footy that you know they're capable of, and it's disappointing when they don't show up.
It's sad. It's proper sad. But yeah, we didn't do a podcast after the Brighton game, after the Atalanta game. We were both fuming. We were both in work, to be honest, around the weekend, so made it hard. And I don't think any Liverpool fan really wants to think us to sit there and talk for like an hour about a game now.
It was just on top of the result, it was just a bit of a rubbish game, wasn't it? So like it would have been a waste of time coming on and just we'd have been filling it with they started talking about COVID again or something. I don't know.
I think if you are listening to this podcast, the next hour is going to be focused on the Brighton game. And obviously towards the end we're going to build up to the Ajax game in the Champions League. Brighton is heavily going to be focused by VAR. So if you are a VAR advocate, I'd suggest you turn off now.
Yeah, there's so many talking points, isn't there? And
yeah, I think the best place to start the podcast will be, shall we start with Klopp's rants? Because he had one after the Atalanta game to Sky.
No,
to BT.
They go both to BT.
Yeah, to BT. And then they've progged them again with a stick after the Brighton game. It's an absolute joke. We played Wednesday night. Granted, we played at home. We could have been in an away fixture though.
Yeah.
If you play Wednesday night in the Champions, there's 4 teams in England in the Champions League. If you play Tuesday, you can play Saturday.
Yeah.
If you play Wednesday, you should not be playing Saturday.
No, and certainly not. Maybe
5:30, something like that.
5:30, 8. There's an 8 o'clock slot on a Saturday. Do that.
Why?
Anyone in your that early kick-off on a Saturday, right? That should be reserved for any team that is not in Europe.
Well, if you look at this Saturday as a prime example, why was Sheffield United and West Brom
there you go. They're the two,
on the 8 o'clock?
Yeah, they're 2 teams that are not in Europe. They had no midweek commitments that I can think of.
Nothing.
Absolutely, that should have been the early kick-off.
100,000,000%.
And it's not, again, it feels like we're crying it in, but we're not the only team that it's happening to. And
yeah, and I think people need to realise that because a lot of rival fans are buzzing that apparently Klopp's lost the plot. Klopp has not lost the plot. Klopp's actually looking out for
everybody.
Every
he keeps
team.
saying that. He said it's not just us.
If you look at the Brighton game, they had 2 players go off with muscle injuries, Lallana being one of them. We'll delve into that when we speak of the Brighton game. But in terms of VAR, not VAR, fixtures congestion. It's ridiculous. There's no two way about it. I think Klopp said there's 3 times we play Wednesday and 12:30 on a Saturday. Why? And broadcasters can sit there and say it's the Premier League contract. It's the Premier League contract. It's not.
Right. No, I think what the guy who was interviewing Klopp missed the point of. He was saying that the FA allocate slots for TV. That is true. Yeah. But once, I don't know, we'll call out BT because they're the ones involved at the moment. Once BT get them slots, it's up to them who they put in them slots.
Yeah.
They could easily change the Liverpool game to the late one.
Yeah, I know this from, I studied this in uni. I've worked within TV companies and stuff as part of placements, and not sports ones, but I know people I went to uni with who do work with sports companies. Not going to name them, not going to name the people, obviously. Now, when I've spoke to them, they have said that, like what you've said, in terms of fixtures, sorry, people will know that fixtures get changed to, yeah, people will know. Before people moan, by the way, me and Ste are in a work bubble, people will see that throughout the Wolves game, for example, that's been changed to Sunday now this week.
Yeah, I'm so annoyed at that.
For TV, I know.
Oh my God, I have my birthday party planned all around it, and now. Anyway.
But yeah, that's been changed for TV. The amount of times in a season games get changed for TV.
And how short notice was that Wolves game changed, by the way?
I mean, I think that's more to do with fans, getting the fans in and safely, and because they're probably going to have to maybe use stewards as like.
Yeah, but my point is, if they can do it at that short notice,
they can do it any time. But yeah, you are right. So BT will get all the fixtures for that season. The Premier League choose the fixtures, obviously, and BT then pick what they want.
Yeah.
Obviously, Liverpool, United,
Chelsea. Arsenal.
I think they probably pull in the most viewers. Not even City, because Liverpool seems to be on the telly a lot more now after we've won the league than City was when they won the league. But we've got a massive following.
That's
Liverpool.
it. We've got such a big.
But then that's not like Klopp said. This isn't all the rules that I drew up. It's probably fair throughout that 365-day year. It's probably fair because every team probably plays 12:30 and the same amount of time. Yeah. But the Champions League is not on every week of the year.
There's a winter break.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
One thing we'll get onto, by the way, we are one team who has a winter break, so to speak. But in terms of these fixtures, BT and Sky choose them. Now, BT and Sky are obviously always fighting to get Liverpool. The 8 o'clock kickoff on Saturday was Sky, Saturday Night Football. The 12:30 is BT. So obviously BT are looking at the fixtures and they aren't going to want West Brom Sheffield United at 12:30 because who wants to watch West Brom Sheffield United? I mean, for me, I wanted to watch it because I love watching the bottom of the table just as much as I love watching the top of the table. But 99% of the people, BT are going to get double, if not triple, the viewers putting Liverpool against Brighton on as they would against Sheffield United.
But did they not have 2 or 3 games that day anyway? Did they not have a couple of slots? Because all the games are getting shown.
No, they had
moment.
2. They had Liverpool and then they had who was on afterwards? Was Tottenham Chelsea.
Tottenham Chelsea was the late one, wasn't he?
No,
was he?
Whoever was on straight after us was on Saturday.
Might have been Tottenham Chelsea. The United one was late, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was Tottenham Chelsea. Then it was United.
No, hang on. We're getting mixed up. Saturday, Sunday, yeah, because they was.
Yeah. Tottenham Chelsea, I think, was on after us anyway on Saturday. But BT had 2 of them, Sky had 2 of them. But Sky always have the late ones on Saturday for Saturday Night Football. Yeah. And BT have the early ones because they have that programme with Fletch and Savage. I never watch it. They have something on in the morning. I don't know if it's still on with COVID, but they definitely have something on in the morning. So ultimately, what Klopp's trying to say is Sky and BT should talk.
Absolutely.
Because in a normal season, fine. There's pre-season, players can get the fitness. There's so much going on behind the scenes that people aren't realising.
And it was a stop-start end to the last season as well.
Yeah, I mean...
Man City, Burnley.
Yeah, that was the game after us. So then Sky had Everton, Leeds and West Brom, Sheffield United. So what Klopp's argument is that 2 teams who played in the Champions League there have got the early kick-off on the Saturday. City's a little bit later than ours, but I think it was 2:30 their kick-off, 3 o'clock, something like that. And Everton, Leeds, West Brom, Sheffield United, not one European commitment between them. And then they're getting the later kick-off. So what's Klopp saying is BT should have said we'll have Everton, Leeds and Sheffield United, West Brom. Sky have Liverpool.
No one stood up in Sky or BT and gone, look, we've got a responsibility here.
They just keep saying it's the Premier League, it's the Premier League, it's the Premier League. When in truth, it's not.
No.
That as much as the Premier League are wrong with other things that we're going to get into, it's not with the fixtures.
And that guy who interviewed Klopp after the Brighton game
Des Kelly
hang his head in shame
for what he was asking.
It was the way he was goading him and the way he was asking the questions and putting things to Klopp, and you could see in Klopp's face he probably wanted to spark him out.
But even like there's journalists. He's very well known for hosting Good Morning Britain. That's all. I'm not going to name names for this because you just don't trust him of all people, given his background of what he's worked for. But he was saying, how can players moan when there's bigger things going on? Well, they're basically getting used. I know football is for people's entertainment, but the players shouldn't be used as puppets. No. The people at the end of the day. Just
because they get paid well and they're in the public eye, that doesn't mean that we haven't got a responsibility to protect them.
One thing I do think Klopp is wrong with was calling out Wilder on his own, because there's
other clubs who
they need 14 votes to make it through.
Yeah,
now
they weren't the only ones, really.
Apparently, because Klopp's words was in the last vote 60% voted in favour, so that's about 15, 16 teams. Yeah. So it does look like 5 subs will happen, because obviously it's not going to happen. They're not going to vote in favour and it'll happen next week. According to Klopp on that rant, he said it was 60-40 in favour. So who knows when it's going to happen? Yeah. So now it is down to the Premier League because they've had the votes.
So it's 12 against 8 in it, so 12 teams. Is 60,
ultimately, 40. But you've got to have 14 votes to get it through. So 14 teams have got to be in favour. So it's not just like there's 19 teams and Chris Wilder's against it. But one thing I will say is Chris Wilder is selfish. Klopp is right what he's saying. To sit and call Jurgen Klopp selfish for wanting 5 substitutes, Liverpool can't come and bring on... The only team in the league that has the strength and depth of superstars on the bench is Manchester City and Manchester United.
Just look at our bench against Atalanta.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
City and United, United could have Pogba and Van der Beek and still have Fernandes on the pitch and stuff. And United have good depth. They do have good depth, and so does City.
If we had a full-strength squad, don't get me wrong, we would have decent depth, but we're missing half a squad.
Yeah, Chris Wilder's out here saying teams would have an advantage if they have 5 subs on the bench. He had a £25 million striker on his bench on the weekend. Let's not forget. Look, so where's his advantage? Do you know what I mean? He had, regardless of if Ryan Brewster's a kid, he spent £25 million on him.
Yeah.
And then he's on the bench. So they've got, you could argue that Sheffield United have got more depth on their bench at the minute than us.
We've got kids. To the injuries.
Yeah. So how can someone sit there and call Klopp selfish when he's got 16 or 17 players out injured?
We've got a 19-year-old kid starting in central midfield every week at the moment.
Yeah. And we've got kids starting at the back. We've got Nat Phillips, who was going to be sold. He's not even in the Premier League, the Champions League squad because he was going to be sold. He's only in the Prem squad because he's homegrown. Yeah. So it's just, Klopp's right. And for Wilder didn't respond. He said that today's not the time to respond to it. And good, fair enough. He shouldn't be responding because he's selfish. But I can tell you the teams, what I think, West Ham are probably one of them, based off their chairman's comments about Project Restart. Yeah. She's been all very quiet now. They're doing well, though, hasn't she? Doesn't want to null and void this season, given all the injuries. I reckon it's West Ham, Sheffield United, West Brom. Who else come up? I wouldn't even say it'd be Leeds because
maybe Newcastle.
I don't think Steve Bruce would be involved in that. Do you know what I mean? Like Sheffield United have been hit by injuries as well. Every team has, but at this present moment in time, Liverpool and City are the worst. I can see teams like Sheffield United thinking, "Don't let them have the 5 sub. We've got a better chance of winning the league if they've got players injured." But Chris Wilder, mate, as Klopp told you, you're on 1 point.
Yeah, you got no chance.
So what? It's not affecting him.
Does he not want to protect his own players?
Exactly. This is what's
it's
mad.
Not about gaining an advantage over. I mean, don't get me wrong. Stronger squads do have a slight advantage.
Yeah.
Because if we're bringing on, say, for example, Man City are bringing on Sergio Aguero off the bench. You've got Sheffield United bringing on Ryan Brewster. There's the difference, right? But he's not seeing the bigger picture of protecting his own squad.
But at the end of the day, he's spending... He can say, "Oh yeah, we've only got a younger team, non-experienced," and that. He's went and spent 30 million on an inexperienced keeper. He's went and spent 25 million on an inexperienced striker. With that 55 million pound, they could have went and got better players than Ryan Brewster and Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah, because they dipped into the Championship.
So he sat there moaning about how his depth's kids. He chose to spend
that's his responsibility to
amount of money on kids. Yeah. So it's crazy. And I think you'll probably see a lot more teams moaning over Christmas because Liverpool have 7 days off over Christmas. They're the only team. Like, big team. Forget all these little teams, obviously they don't care about us. So,
what a luxury.
because we aren't playing in the Carabao Cup. There's a Carabao Cup game on the 22nd or 23rd.
Okay.
And we aren't playing Boxing Day either. We're playing the 27th.
Right,
So we've got from like the 22nd or 23rd, because obviously they're playing then. So I think the games before that would be the 20th or 19th, 20th, that round of fixtures, if I'm not wrong. We'll get them up. If I look, so they're playing on the 23rd, that Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're playing the Carabao Cup. So the round of fixtures before that would be the 19th and 18, 19, 20, the weekend fixtures. We aren't playing till the 27th. So if we have a look, I'm sure our game is on the 20th and then the 27th. So I think we've got a week off over Christmas, which is just mad. It never happens.
Much needed.
100% much needed. Thiago might be back by then.
Oh, that's I remember him.
Yeah, so we play on the 19th, and we've got from the 19th to the 27th off. We've got an 8-day break over Christmas, Liverpool, because of these Carabao Cup games that are here.
Is that before Sky and BT have got hold of them? Or are they... Oh, yeah, no, must have, because one's 12:30.
Yeah, so...
So that's it. Yeah, look, we've got the early kick-off on the 19th. After... Oh.
Yeah, so we play Tottenham on the 16th, and then 3 days later we've got the half-12.
That's the same as what we've just been.
So we played Tottenham at 8 o'clock, and then got Palace at 12:30.
Yeah.
And it's in London, so you go from Liverpool to London. So they're going to...
That's exactly the same as what we've just done with Atalanta and Brighton.
Yeah, but it's not. And this is
but then,
purely
the
just
thing
down
is, we've got
to
a
the
week,
Prem.
as you say, we've got a week off.
Because we're playing
that.
Tottenham on the... That's January.
Yeah, it's Tottenham on the 16th.
We play Tottenham on the 16th, which is the Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and then play Crystal Palace 12:30 on the 19th.
Yeah.
But we can't really moan about that because we've got 7 days off. Other teams have got to play before then.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's mad that we're not playing Boxing Day. I honestly can't remember a time Liverpool haven't played Boxing Day.
Are there a set of fixtures on Boxing Day?
Yeah.
Or does every...
Yeah.
Liverpool
are playing the 27th though.
Okay.
4:30 against West Brom. So we've got a break over Christmas, so I suppose it has swung round and roundabouts, but until then, you've got intensive amount of fixtures, and I think more teams will start moaning like your Sheffield United once it comes to then. Because teams are going to get
the Carabao Cup hits them, and they've got that extra fixture midweek, then they'll realise.
Teams are going to get injured. Muscle injuries over December. Because if you take out our Champions League games, for example, I'll put this on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. If you take out our Champions League games, that's the question. We're still playing on the 6th, the 13th, the 16th, the 19th. So that's 4 games in 13 days.
Yeah. And we're playing the 1st as well tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. If you take out Midtjylland and Ajax, if you take out the Champions League games, we've got 4 games in 13 days. So that's what other teams have got.
Yeah.
Now you're adding the Carabao Cup into that. So that's 5 games in 13 days for some teams who are left in the Carabao Cup. They're going... So with the likes of Wilder, you're going to have to rotate your team. And there is going to be injuries. There's going to be so many injuries.
Yeah.
I think this January will be the biggest transfer window of a January on record.
The biggest spends, the biggest amount of players coming in. Yeah.
The amount of teams that are going to have to dip into that market.
I think a lot were very cautious over the summer as well because of everything that was going on. Yeah. So
I think by the time January comes,
there'll be a bit more clarity.
The vaccine's meant to be rolled out from December. So
fans coming in and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What's your thoughts on that?
What part?
Having fans in. Now, I've worded that wrong. 2,000 fans.
First, you know what? It's going to be more of an advantage for the smaller grounds.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because you've got clubs like, I'd probably say Fulham. They hold
Brighton.
about
Brighton.
They hold about 20,000, so you've got 2,000 in there. That's 10% capacity.
Yeah.
You go to Anfield, our capacity is 55,000.
58.
So it's going to be like... And you know what? How many of them 2,000 are going to be
out of our capacity?
They're going to be corporate tickets.
Apparently they're not.
No?
Apparently they're not. Apparently they actually are going to fans. Because I said that.
Because where's the money coming from? You think, they're only getting 50 quid a ticket off your normal fan. And they can get thousands.
I think Liverpool are going to put them in the cop in the main stand. I think that's what it's talked about. But in my eyes, And what it is with the smaller grounds, if 2,000 is more than 50% of the capacity, they can't have 2,000. So if there was a team like with only 4,000, it's not in the Prem.
Yeah.
But then if there was, so in like the lower leagues, if you say for example you've got a 4,000 seater stadium, you can only have say 1,000. I think.
So if you go to like Marine.
Yeah.
Well done, Marine, by the way.
Big up Marine. Getting. I don't know what though. They could get Liverpool in the next
That's
round.
what I'm saying.
Mind,
I think it'd be brilliant. I'd say I go to Marine a few times with the lads. So we've already had a little word with the guy at Marine just to see if we can nail our tickets on for the next round.
But in terms of Anfield, you could safely socially distance 15,000 at Anfield.
Yeah.
If you used all four. Because you could leave 2 rows between every person and have them diagonal from each other.
Yeah, sitting down. But we discussed this before, didn't we? It's the exiting the stadium afterwards, which then becomes... That needs to be marshaled.
Did you know
properly.
with these stupid rules, I know they're there for people's safety, but you can't shout, you can't stand up, and you can't sing. So the fans are in the ground, but they're quiet.
How are they going to police that? Someone shouts. So, like, the steward shouts and you go, you shut up as well.
If I'm honest, I would rather Liverpool give them 2,000 tickets to block 206 and 306 in the Kop.
Yeah.
If I'm
Make
honest.
a bit of noise.
Although I don't sit there myself.
That's where the noise comes from.
That's where the noise is in the ground. And Liverpool's atmosphere, dare I say it, in recent years has been abysmal. Apart from the United game last year and the Barca game and stuff, it's just been... First game of the season last year, we had just won the Champions League, but bearing in mind, I was sat there, I was in the Upper Annie Road, they had the big mural on the Kop with the Champions League and stuff. First game back, you're seeing the lads after they've just won the Champions League, and you could hear a pin drop sometimes.
It should have been flags.
Then we played Sheffield
and...
United, and the only song I heard was Champions League one. You'll never sing that. So the atmosphere in Anfield has been crap.
Do you think...
If you want my honest opinion on why I think there's too many tourists in the ground. Now, that's not me saying fans from outside of Liverpool shouldn't support Liverpool, because they understand we're a big club. We have fans all over the world. But there's so many fans who come to Liverpool just for a day out. We get slated for it by the Blues all the time. And you know what? They're right. Because some fans come for the day out. They come to go to the club shop and spend a fortune, get the pictures in Anfield, and they don't know any of the songs.
It has positive effects on the club.
Financially.
But in
terms of atmosphere, it ruins it. It kills it. You can't expect 2 blocks in the Kop to pump out that much noise when the ground's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. And it's sort of a victim of our own success in that, because if you're going to be successful, you're going to be a worldwide brand, and you're going to attract the fans from abroad. And
I remember
I don't mind
years
that,
ago
that the cost of that is it affects it's got the possibility to affect the atmosphere at the ground.
It has affected it massively, I'd say. Do you know what is mad? I think back to Roy Hodge and... Oh, that's a bad example.
Don't mention his name on here.
The end of Rafa, when it wasn't too well. We were getting knocked out of things and stuff. Yeah. You could get a ticket and a spare, and 10 spares if you wanted back then. The atmosphere back then was better.
It goes without saying, the local fans, the hardcore local fans, are more vocal at the ground. That's just how it is.
This is what I'm on about.
That local hardcore fan, because of our worldwide success, is finding it harder to get the tickets.
Yeah, 100%. 100 million%.
I don't know what your thoughts are, but I'm not knocking fans. I'll welcome anyone to Anfield. I'm just saying that is the effect of having fans.
I do feel as though the ticket system could be better and it could be split. So say 80% of the ground is home fans. It's like local.
Yeah.
Keep it in the region. It's our club.
Yeah.
I know and then 20% then go to people. Because, do you know, when it comes down to them tickets and you've got to go on to that stupid... I can't wait to see the sign of that members queue again, by the way. I've missed it. But when you go on it...
How long have you waited for an hour for it to
hours
come up? And
just to get through to the queue, just to get through to selecting your seat. And then you're getting all dodgy seats and you're going to the ground and you surround... I can say, honestly, the past few matches I've been to, I haven't been sat by a Scouser. And it's sad. Because that is as much as the foreign fans away from the city can still be just as much Liverpool fans as us. And for example, my brother's partner, her brother, comes every match. Literally, he is a proper fan, proper fan.
You do get travelling fans, like certainly from Ireland.
Yeah, and he's from Worcester, so Birmingham ways, and they bring a coach up every week, and has more right to go to the ground than locals who don't go to the match.
Yeah.
My issue is locals who moan about people people from outside Liverpool going to the match who don't go to the match themselves.
Yeah.
So I know there's people who moan about people going to the match who are not from Liverpool, but them same people haven't watched a single match during lockdown.
Yeah.
Single match on that telly. So I'm not bothered about people coming from outside of Liverpool. What bothers me is when genuine fans who want to go to the game from the local region can't because people like from outside are getting tickets. But then they spend a lot more money in the club, so they're more valuable.
It's one of them.
Club.
You've got to balance up what's more important, and certainly for the owners, what's more important is money. So,
but one thing I will say I'm looking forward to about this is the 2,000 fans who are coming in. You can only be from the Liverpool City region.
Yeah, and again, that'd be better again if they were allowed to open their mouths while they were in there. You know what I mean? Like,
They will.
Yeah, I mean, they're
we
saying
don't
all these rules.
So if I get a ticket,
yeah, you're not sitting there.
I am not
you're
sitting
there quiet, are
No,
you?
not
It's
a chance.
happening.
Not a chance, mate, sitting there quiet. But yeah, like I'm looking forward to having fans back in, but I'd rather just have all or nothing.
Wait until it's safe for everyone, and
It's not fair
because 2,000 fans, even if they're charging 50 quid a ticket, that's gonna do nothing to the bank. You know what I mean? It's nothing.
But then in the sense of like one thing.
Or let it be, give them to like local schools.
There's people think this is mad that I'm bringing this up because we aren't affected, because we can have fans. But Joe, that tiers like Manchester who can't have fans. It won't affect City that much anyway. But teams like that, I'm with what Joe Cole was saying on BT. It should be all or nothing.
Yeah.
It should be.
You
because
can't divide it into tiers. It's got to be across the league.
I'll give you my reason why. Because when Liverpool win the league this year, not if, when Liverpool win the league this year, I can guarantee them Manx down the road say, you've only won it because you're fans.
Yeah.
So last year,
fuel to their fire,
it should have been null and voided. And then this year, it'll be you only won it because you're fans. And I can't be bothered with it.
Look where we are now without fans.
Exactly. Well, I'd rather us have fans.
What I'm saying is they can't say we won the league because we have fans, because we're already top of the league.
But it's mad for teams like how much it would affect teams like your Cities, Uniteds.
And I want it to be fair. I want us all to be playing on a level playing field.
Is it only City, United and Newcastle?
No, is it? There's...
Because London have got them. We've got them. Brighton's allowed fans. Southampton's allowed fans. Yeah, so I think it's good to only be the Manchester clubs, you know.
I'd be interested.
I might be wrong, but
check it out anyway. I'm not.
If that's the case, then it should be all or not.
You can't just leave two teams.
The majority of the Premier League got fans back in, bar a few clubs. Now you could argue it's down to the people within that city not following the rules, because since mass testing got put into this city, one thing I can say is the Scousers have actually said, you know what, let's just get tested.
And the numbers have dropped by half.
Yeah, they've all just said...
Countrywide, it's dropped a third, and Liverpool it's half.
People in Liverpool are obviously just thinking, do you know what, I want my life back. I know Scousers want to be out on Boxing Night, because I do myself. Do you know, every Scouser wants to be out there, partying, living the life.
Guess what? I'm going out on Wednesday. I'm going out Wednesday. I'm made up.
Till 11.
Well, whatever. Like it's
even then, I haven't been out till... It's my birthday next week, and she wants to go out, and I really don't want to, because what's the point? I'm one of them. I'm all or not.
I'm only going local with a couple of mates.
I'm all or not. And me, if I go out, I'm out till 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning. I don't do these 11 o'clock finishes. So I'm a bit devastated, to be honest. But I suppose it's a start. Yeah. Let me know in the comments as well if you're going to get the vaccine, because this is a very big talking point now.
It's a hot topic in work, isn't
it? We work in the care industry, so we're probably going to have to get it. But I'm all... Boris, if you want to inject me, as long as I can go back to Anfield, mate.
It's a very divisive subject, isn't it? Because they're although they're not enforcing it by law, they're making it very, very difficult to live without it.
I'll get it if I can go to the ground. That's honestly all I care about, is going back that match. Whether I get it after having a vaccine to do so, I don't care. I just want to be back in that ground, singing "We Are the Champions."
Yeah.
Because we're gonna win the league. We haven't sung "We Are the Champions."
I know. Tears in my eyes.
Not the actual Queen song, but by the time we have Anfield full capacity, we'll probably be singing "We're gonna win the league again."
Yeah.
But The only sad thing about that is I don't think we're going to parade that first league win. You can't.
It's too late. What's the point now?
You can't say to Thiago, Jota, and that, you can't come on. Yeah. But Degsy, get back here. You can't. Like, it just won't happen, that parade. I think if we win the league again this year, they'll parade too.
Yeah.
But
it seems kind of pointless now. The moment's gone on it.
Yeah. If you want to see the league, you can go into Anfield and see it.
That's it. I mean, it would have been nice.
The only good thing about talking about people coming in from, if we would have won the league, it would have brought a lot of tourism into the city. Yeah. And this city,
it thrives on tourism, and we've suffered like the hospitality industry and places like Matty Ste especially that live off that
tourism.
Just I don't know how they're going to survive it. Like,
it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah. Places like the Cavern got grants and stuff because they're like a sort of national treasure or whatever it is. But there's plenty of bars in that area.
I've seen places closed in town. I mean, I don't really go to town anymore, but I think the Black Rabbit shut. I think there was one called Soho that shut. But I mean, when I go to town, I just do an event. I just go to events now, don't I? So I don't go into town anymore.
And it'll only fall into the people with money hands because they're going to be the ones that are able to take over these businesses now.
Yeah.
You know, the small businessman's going to struggle.
And do you know what? Most venues are owned by I know some venues are owned by bigger companies. Like, there's a few venues in town that they've just got the Casimir. Not the Casimir, the Zanzibar, sorry. Okay. One of the best live music venues there was in Liverpool, the Zanzibar. Is
that the one with like the garden out the back?
No, that's the Casimir. The Zanzibar is the one. I can't think what street it's on. I seen Jamie Webb's there last year. I know the one. Yes, I've seen loads.
It's just off Slater Street, isn't it? On the corner
I've seen loads and loads of local bands through like my earlier days in radio. Interviewing
I've
people.
Been there a few times myself. It's nice venue for music.
But the owner, died this year, sadly, and he was very good for this music industry, and I feel as though because he's died, they've capitalised and they've took control. I could be wrong. I don't know the full logistics of how this venue's now been sold on, but the people we've got hold of it are the same people we've got the old walkabout and that, I think.
Right, okay.
There's a company who owns a few. Yeah. So that, I think that's what you mean. Like, bigger companies are gonna, and that'll just take all the Liverpool spirit out of that venue.
Because you're just gonna have chain bars everywhere.
Yeah, and that's all.
I mean, I guess that'll still bring in tourism because it's still Liverpool, but it takes away some of the authenticity, does it, from the city?
Yeah, and I think a title parade would be boss for this city now, for local businesses.
Yeah, and again, it's got to. I don't want a half-arsed title parade. I want it to be balls deep, full the lot. Like, I don't want it to be like, well, you stand there and you stand there, and we'll put a fence in between everyone. I've got time for that. It's got to be proper.
I'd like them to do it at St George's Hall and do like a big party.
Yeah.
Like
but again, that's not looking likely anytime soon, is it?
No, but Batman can film there.
What's that?
No idea. But yeah, Batman can film there, but we can't go and watch to win the league.
That is what it is, isn't it?
It is what it is. But yeah, moving on to the Brighton game then. It'd be unfair to discuss this game without the absolute shambles that is VAR.
Yeah. There's some pictures I've seen, and it wasn't just us. There was certainly one from the Everton game that I remember seeing where the stupid lines that they draw.
Yeah.
I get that in principle, right? If they're going to use a point of reference of any point on the body, whatever, there's always going to be that line.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether you'd be able to get the picture up that where it shows, like, the defender is side on. The Brighton defender's side on. Now, they've took his right foot, which is furthest away from the goal, as a point of reference. I mean, again, he's standing funny.
Yeah. It is on the screen if you're watching on YouTube currently.
You can see, like, how can that point of his body be closest to the goal, not his left shoulder? Now, there's another one. Did they send you the one from Everton?
The James Rodriguez, he was offside.
Yeah, he was offside. He was. But they never used the right point of reference from the defender. Yeah. They used the defender's foot, and most of the defender's body is edging over. And yeah, probably he is still offside.
Yeah.
But
the way, if it just takes anyone to notice on the Brighton offside what you're saying.
Yeah, he is stepping across himself, so his right foot at that angle is further across than his left foot, but
his left
not
foot's
his
up in the
shoulder.
air.
Yeah,
And his shoulders, you can see, is evidently further down. So it's a joke. And the fact that Salah, do you know what? With VAR, my gripe with it isn't offsides. At the end of the day, Salah was offside against Brighton. I can deal with that. Whether it be a centimetre, an armpit, a fingernail.
Once there's a point of reference, you've got to go with it.
What I don't agree with is, if you're still watching on YouTube, I'll change the screen image to this one of Patrick Bamford.
Yeah, that is
now
nonsense.
You cannot score a goal with anything from your elbow down.
Yeah.
Now, if you look on the Patrick Bamford offside against Crystal Palace, he's pointing where he wants offside. Now, what is offside is between this and this.
Yeah.
His elbow and his arm. Yeah. Now, the law of the game says you can't score with this part of your arm.
So how can that be
offside? And that's my gripe with VAR. Like the Salah one. Even the James Rodriguez one, to an extent, his hand is offside. So it's offside. He shouldn't be offside because it's his hand, but he's offside. What my gripe is with VAR, although we've just spoke about the offside, it's not the offside, it's the penalties and the fouls. Now, I'm not saying it's my gripe because it's cost us 3 points. I mean across the board.
Yeah.
So if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to remind you of what Jordan Pickford done to Virgil van Dijk, which David Coote stated was not clear and obvious enough to warrant a yellow card or a penalty.
Yeah, clear and obvious to overturn the decision order.
Yeah, so that wasn't clear and obvious to change the decision. Andy Robertson, who was clearing a football and come into contact. Granted,
it's a contact sport, and
I understand the rules of the game say if you make contact in the box, it's a penalty.
But that was not a clear and obvious mistake.
Yeah. So
if that's on the halfway line, no one bats an eye. No one even looks at it again.
Exactly.
So
if you, and the problem with VAR is, if I was to punch you like this now, tap you, in VAR you'll see the contact.
Yeah.
But you don't see how light it is. So they're watching VAR slowing things down. They're not watching it in real time. Now, if you look what slowed Andy, if you slow anything down, it looks worse than what it is. Yeah. If you look at Andy Robertson's challenge slowed down, it looks as though he's booted Welbeck's foot. Yeah. If you watch it in real time, you can see he's trying to kick the ball, and he gets the ball, but he gets Welbeck first.
Yeah.
Now, so yeah,
whatever. It's a
technicality. It's a penalty.
Yeah.
But the rules of VAR states that a decision should only be overturned if the referee has made a clear and obvious error.
And that was not.
In real time, Andy Robertson's was not a clear and obvious error. It can't have been.
I know. I mean, it was.
Jordan Pickford's challenge was a clear and obvious error.
Yeah.
Because no keeper should tackle with his feet off the ground. You could even go as far as saying in the Brighton game, Ben White got a booking. It was about the 80th minute. And he only got a yellow card. Now, he should have had a red.
Was that the stamp?
No, when he went in with his 2 feet off the ground.
Oh, yeah.
So he only got a yellow for that. That's a red. Because I could be wrong, but I am 99% sure that if you go in for a tackle with both feet off the ground, that's a red card.
Yeah. So it's dangerous play.
So that wasn't even a red. So if you're going to get into technicalities of VAR, that is a clear and obvious error that he's give him a yellow for a red.
My main issue isn't he's give the penalty because down to the letter of the law, if it's at the other end, once VAR gets involved, it's a penalty, and that's it. It's a penalty.
That's me gripe, though.
But there's no consistency because everything's open to interpretation, and it's always a different.
There is consistency in a sense of once they go to the monitor, they're going to change the decision.
Absolutely, because they don't want to.
100%, and
they're too scared to back themselves.
This is the thing. Last year, they were going to the monitor and not change the decision. So people were saying, "What's the point in going to the monitor if you're not considering changing the decision?"
But then that
doesn't mean go to the monitor and change every decision. If all it takes is a referee to go up and not change the decision,
so I don't think that was a clear and obvious mistake. Maybe it was a foul,
but I don't think it's the referees making the decision still, because Michael Oliver is the best referee in this country, and he is. Usually people say it's the best referee and they're a load of crap to Liverpool. Yeah. Michael Oliver is a good referee. He's not biased in games. Any games he plays, he's decent at. Yeah. Good referee. He's himself has been the monitor and changed the decision. So it's just like, it feels though, I knew the minute that referee walked over to that monitor on the weekend, it was a pen.
Yeah.
And even Klopp stood there looking at it like, Brighton deserve something from the game.
Yeah, because we weren't great.
You could argue a point was a fair result. But it
just
does your head in.
The manner of
when
the
there's
way
90 minutes of football and VAR gets involved 4 times.
Yeah.
4 VAR incidents in 90 minutes of football. Now, there was another game with VAR I watched on the weekend. I can't think what game it was, and they had a shambles of a VAR decision as well. Yeah. It could, I think, Everton had one. Everton had 2 VARs because Godfrey.
Tottenham.
Chelsea it was. Werner was offside, sorry. Anyway, there was a game and it was questionable, very questionable.
And that's the thing, that this VAR is supposed to take away that uncertainty and the questionable decisions, and it's just bringing more questions.
Jordan Henderson mentioned it. We mentioned it on the last podcast about De Bruyne not knowing the rules anymore. Yeah. So Henderson mentioned that in his interview after the Brighton game.
Oh, he said he'd do without it, wouldn't he?
If a captain of the biggest football club, and I'm not being biased, currently we are the Premier League champions, so we are the biggest football club in England.
Still the world champions, by the way.
Yeah, still the world. But in England, we're currently the best team. We are, because even technically, we are currently the best team in the league. So if the captain of the best team in the league is saying, I don't know what the rules of football are anymore, that needs to be looked at.
What hope has the game got?
You've got the best player the best player in the league in De Bruyne saying he doesn't know. You got the captain of the best club in the league saying he doesn't know.
How would he?
And what else is doing me head in is everyone targeting Klopp for his rants. Because if you watch Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after they had played...
Yeah, that was a few weeks back,
they had just played in Turkey, the away game against Istanbul.
And he had the same rant on telly.
Yeah, he had the exact same rants, and Des Kelly said nothing to him.
Yeah.
So...
It's agendas, isn't it?
Yeah. But on to the Brighton game. We've had 40 minutes worth of ranting. I've got it all.
Clean the auras.
It was a bad game.
Yeah.
But it was also a good game in a sense of, I think, me included, I think every Liverpool fan at the minute has got the bar set too high in a sense of what we've come to expect at Liverpool.
We've been spoiled over the past few years.
We need to realise we may not win the league this season. We may not win the Champions League.
How dare you?
I still think we will. I still think we will. Like I said before, it's not a matter of if we win the league, it's a matter of when. I still think we will. But people need to realise we started that game on the weekend with not one of our first choice defenders. Yeah. Robbo was on the bench, but he needs to be rested sometimes. Not one of our first choice. In fact, Robbo started, didn't he? Sorry, he didn't start against Atalanta.
That's right, yeah.
But we've only got Robbo. Out of our first choice defence, we've only got Robbo.
Yeah.
Out of our midfield, you're starting Curtis Jones, Wijnaldum and Milner. It's not Curtis Jones, by the way, has been phenomenal. Apart from the Brighton game, the whole not the Atalanta game, sorry, the whole team was crap. But you're missing arguably one of the best players in the world.
Take away names, right?
Right, so the best defender in the world, Van Dijk.
Alisson out as well. The best, arguably the best keeper in the world. He's
the best keeper in the world. Yeah. There's no one better than him.
Best defender in the world.
In Van Dijk. The second best defender in the league in Gomez.
Yeah. England's best defender anyway,
yeah.
Best right back.
The best right back in the world.
Our highest assister for the past 2 years.
Robbo's had... Well, in fact, he hasn't had any time. He had a muscle strain for Scotland, but he's missed no time for us. Midfield, you're missing your captain. Yeah. Your club captain. Who, a few years ago, I never thought I'd miss Jordan Henderson. But he's one of the most important players on the team.
Yeah, then you're missing your marquee summer signing in Thiago.
Arguably one of the best midfielders to ever play the game of football. It's not bold, Steve. That's true. We're talking about a fella who's won the Champions League at 2 different clubs. We're talking about a fella who's won the league. He's
absolutely gorgeous footballer, and I miss him.
If he wins the league with Liverpool, he's won the league in the 3 biggest leagues.
Yeah.
In Spain, Germany, and England. And you could argue he's been at 3 good teams, but he's world class. Thiago is one of the best midfielders to ever play the game.
Oh, he's amazing.
The way, if you watch him, I know we haven't watched them much once, but if you watch his games for Bayern, but I think it was something stupid last year, like Bayern Munich only got beat when Thiago didn't play.
Really, is that?
I'm sure it's something stupid like that. I don't think they lost when he played.
Oh, okay.
But he's that good. Look at the Richarlison, he snapped his leg, he's been out since. And he made a no-look pass and finished the game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He is arguably one of the best players in the world. You've got Mo Salah, who had COVID, probably one of the best, probably the best right winger in the world.
He's up there, isn't he?
Who's better? Mbappe. That's it.
That's what I mean. He's in that. He's
top
bracket.
Elite. He's like world class. He's not just good. He's world class. Mane didn't start either. in my eyes, the best player in the world.
No wish, buts or maybes on
No,
that one.
yeah. Sadio Mane is the best player in the world. And then Bobby hasn't been Bobby.
No.
But then saying that, Bobby, to me, had a really, really good few weeks.
He's been playing deeper, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's been phenomenal. And when you take Bobby out the team,
we don't click.
Look at the Atalanta game.
Yeah.
If people don't understand what and we ourselves have said he hasn't been that good
yeah.
this year, but the Atalanta game made me realise once again how much Bobby means to this team. I can hand on heart say, if Bobby wants to go the rest of the season not scoring or getting an assist, I'll be okay. After that Atalanta game,
we've got to realise, which I'm so guilty of forgetting all the time, is he's not a number 9.
Bobby's not.
I'm so guilty of forgetting it, and that's where my head goes. He's not a striker.
He's a cam. He's a midfielder. We bought him from Hoffenheim as a cam. But I think he might have been a bit deeper in Hoffenheim. Maybe
he's just an attacking midfielder, isn't he?
He's never ever been a striker. And if you think about the system we've always played, he's never played as a number 9. He got more. He got more goals when Salah went here.
Yeah, he's had better numbers in the past, and I think that's what sort of cloud.
But he doesn't. It's like look at Wijnaldum. He is a phenomenal goal scorer.
Yeah.
If he plays attacking, which he does for Holland, doesn't play attacking for Liverpool because he doesn't need to.
No, we've got them attacking.
Why does Bobby need to score goals when you've got Mane and Salah doing nearly 100 in a year?
Jota now.
Jota now in part of it. Yeah. So Bobby doesn't need to score any goals, and the Atalanta game showed that to me. But that's going back to the original point. I feel like people need to lower their expectations of Liverpool a little bit this year. If we finish, as long as we finish in the top 4, I don't care.
Yeah.
If we don't win the league,
what I said at the start is I want a reasonable challenge.
But if we don't do that, I won't be bothered.
I think anyone in the way it is, I think if you finish in the top 4, down to the last couple of weeks, you're going to be challenging anyway. I think it's going to be that close. I think any of the top 4 within the last month of the season are probably.
I'll tell you my thoughts on it now. That for this season, I won't be bothered if we don't win the league, because to try and win the league, we only won the Champions League and League, may I add, because we fixed our defensive issues by getting Van Dijk and Alisson. You take Van Dijk out of it, we're back to what we was. So I'm not that bothered if we don't win the league this year, because I know City and United won't. I can confidently say that, because City, although they won Burnley 5-0, Burnley this year.
Yeah,
I don't think City are City. And True Geordie, I don't know if you ever watched his podcasts.
No.
He's phenomenal. And he does a podcast called The Kickoff. And they were stating, I'm not going to sit here and have the same rant, because everything he said, I agree with. He done a rant about Pep Guardiola.
Right.
His transfers at City, stating he's not a good manager and he doesn't know how to buy a good player.
Right.
And
Spends big and hopes for the best.
And he's right. Ian Harris at Sterling, De Bruyne, Fernandinho, Yaya Toure, company. If you look at who City have Aguero, if you look at City who they've bought, there's not one player in there who is world class.
Yeah.
So this is what
yeah, I mean, they've got good players. They've got Bernardo Silva, they've got Mahrez.
But they're not world class.
But they're not in that upper echelon.
They're not amazing. If you think about it, like Bernardo Silva and Mahrez, he's had to buy 2 right wingers before he tried 2.
Yeah.
We went and bought a flop and made them good.
Yeah.
So I think that's what his argument was. True Geordie's really good to listen to around this rant. I'm not going to sit here and rant on it because he's said it now. But he's right. So I urge anyone who's listening to the podcast to go and watch True Geordie. Just type in on YouTube, True Geordie, Pep Guardiola. It's phenomenal. He's so right. So I don't think they'll win the league. I think this year Tottenham might win it. And that's why I'm not bothered if we don't win it. Because if we don't win the league, a team's going to win it who are not going to win it again next year. That's the way I'm thinking.
You wouldn't imagine they would anyway.
No, I don't think they would. If Tottenham win the league, I can't see them doing it 2 years on the run. Because usually when Jose does it, he then decides he wants his payoff.
Yeah, this is going to be the freak season. Anything can happen.
Yeah. I think, don't get me wrong, I think we still will win it. But if we don't win it, I won't be that bothered.
Yeah. And
if Tottenham win it, I'd go as far as saying I'd be happy for them.
Yeah, I've got no issues with Tottenham.
I've got a lot of respect for them. After Madrid, their fans... I mean, I know some Liverpool fans had a bit of trouble with some Tottenham fans. But I had the most enjoyable experience. Any Tottenham fan I met, so sound. We stayed out in the sticks. We were surrounded by Tottenham fans. We was on the train into Madrid with Tottenham fans. Could not fault them at all.
As a fan base and a club, we've never had that sort of rivalry with Spurs where we've both been at the top at the same time. So there's never been any sort of ambiguity between the fans. That we've never had to.
They're our main rival. I stand by it. They're our main rivals this year. I know you've been pushing Chelsea, which the keeper, by the way.
Yeah, he's made that Mendy made a difference.
Yeah, and it shows how much a keeper can add. But yesterday's shown to me they aren't ready.
Yeah, I mean they're about the same as Spurs.
Everton beat Tottenham.
Yeah, so it's just going to be one of them mad seasons.
And they can't say they had Bale because he didn't even bring them on.
No, it
is going to be a mad season. But I do think that people need to stop thinking of Jose Mourinho as the Mourinho who wants to pay out. They need to think of this Mourinho that seems to be at Tottenham is the Mourinho that Chelsea had, I think.
The original.
He's going for it. He's going for it. And I don't want Liverpool to do one of them stupid documentaries that Tottenham's done, but have you seen the Tottenham one?
I still can't bring
honest to God, Jose Mourinho has changed my perception on him watching that.
Yeah.
Obviously I can't repeat swear words because he's live on the radio, but the very first episode will make you howl. It's within the first 10 minutes.
Because he went from like a breath of fresh air when he first came to Chelsea.
To an idiot for years.
To a bit of a miserable old git, basically. Yeah. And then
he just seems like he's back. I think if he wins the league with Tottenham, I think he knows he'd be regarded even higher than he is now in terms of a manager.
Yeah. To win the league with Tottenham is much more of an achievement than to win it with Chelsea.
I mean, when he won it with Chelsea, they had never won it, but he could have whoever he wanted.
Yeah. But he bought. To be fair, he is a checkbook manager, but he bought well, not like Pep.
You could say he's a checkbook manager, but there's teams where he has
and obviously with Porto, I'm sure he wasn't.
Anyone who can go and win the Champions League with a club from Portugal is one of the best managers.
So there's more to him. But when he was at Chelsea, he had the free reign of that blank checkbook.
To an extent, say Spurs can checkbook because they spend some money. Spurs,
although they haven't spent massive amounts of the
players he's added in though. That Regulon, he's some player, you know. And then he's had a Bale into it.
The Højbjerg hasn't done too much as he's been.
No, he's sorted their midfield out. He's like.
I think I've only seen him play once.
The best way to describe Højbjerg is like probably a similar effect to what Fabinho's had on Liverpool.
Yeah. I know he's that type of player, but the only game I've seen him play, he didn't have his best game.
The players who Mourinho's bought, he hasn't bought superstars. Even Big Win from PSV, not a superstar, good player. Good player. The only superstar he ultimately brought in is Bale, and that's only got Bale because I think any manager, I think any manager. I think I could have got Bale at Tottenham if I was manager.
He's got Son playing out of his skin. He's got Kane playing out of his skin.
I think he's changed Harry Kane now because he knows he hasn't got the pace to more of an assist.
He's adapted to.
Kane's on 9 assists this year in 10 games. Yeah.
He's not that off the shoulder player anymore.
They've got Son off the shoulder because he's got the pace. So Tottenham are a rival this year. And yesterday it was the best result that it could have been for my fantasy footy and for Liverpool Football Club. Because I have Chelsea, I had Reece James, Ben Chilwell and Lloris. So it was like, I'm going to mess up.
Points there,
And then it was 0-0 and they all got 7 and I was like, yes! Caught some ground in the fantasy footy this week. But moving on then, let's just erase the last week from our memories of bad performances in VAR.
Please.
Moving on to Ajax, they won 5-0 on Saturday. But didn't they win 13-0 before they played us last time?
They had an absolutely ludicrous scoreline. I think it was 13, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm annoyed that we're going into this game we're going to have to go into this game full strength, by the way. And it's not even like...
we say full strength. You know, strongest available is not exactly full strength.
If Ajax beat us, though...
Yeah, I know. I mean, a win against
Atalanta are playing Midtjylland. I know we need 1 point from the next 2 games to qualify.
I'd rather beat Ajax, get the game
and rest against
win the group.
Yeah.
Then, if Ajax beat us, then I'm still confident of qualifying because all we need is that win against Midtjylland.
And we win
but
we're going to qualify.
We still have to go out and play full strength.
I would have rather turned Atalanta over. And I do feel like he's going to have to go full strength because Ajax, although Atalanta probably are a more experienced, well-trained team at the minute than Ajax because the Ajax at the start of their journey again. Ajax this year seems to have changed the model a little bit, and they've bought players as well. And it seems as though they're adding bits of good players into the system, so they've got like a good team. And there's a few players, like there's that Anthony. He didn't play against in the last leg because he was injured. He's a baller for them.
He's dangerous player and he's fast.
They've got a few good players, Ajax, and the only positive is playing at Anfield.
Yeah,
the last game before,
to an extent. Yeah, it's not that massive.
Last game before the fans are back in.
Yeah,
Liverpool are probably half going to want to have a bit of a. They're not going to want the fans coming in off the back of a loss or draw and another loss. I know. I think we'll win comfortably. But I just don't know the team. I'm going to let you pick the team first because I have no clue.
Right, okay. I'll have to rack my brains to see who's even fit, right? So he's going to have to go as strong as what is available, in my opinion. So he's going to have to go Alisson. It's going to have to be Nico, isn't it? Because Milner's out injured.
I personally wouldn't play Nico this weekend. He's played so bad. He's young.
He needs to play himself out of it, I think.
Nico Williams, he needs a loan move. He needs to get away and get confidence because
who have we got?
I know, but he has been so bad the last few games. He's painfully bad, and I don't want to say a bad word about him because he's a kid. He's still developing, but he is being painfully bad.
I think we're out of options. Okay, so I think that's the only option we've got at right back. So it's going to have to be. So, Alisson, Nico, Fabinho. What's the word on Matip? Was he just rested? So it'll be Fabinho, Matip. I think there's a shout for Tsimikas starting. I think Robbo needs a break, so I'll probably go Tsimikas left back.
He didn't have a bad game though against Atalanta, to be fair. He's one player who actually played alright.
Then you'd have to start Henderson, Gini, and Curtis.
Yeah, because Thiago's definitely
Thiago, yeah. And
what's he actually done, by the way? Because he's been training for weeks. Why can't he play?
I don't know. I'd go front three. Standard. Salah, Mane, Firmino. I don't think Origi should get anywhere near the pitch.
That's something I wanted to touch on actually after the Atalanta game. Divock Origi, I thank you for your memories. You are a cult legend at Liverpool. Not going to ever take that away from you. You are a legend. I'll always love you.
He's had some of the best moments I've seen as a Liverpool fan.
He's given me some of the best nights out I've had as a Liverpool fan, whether it be and
I'll always sing your song.
Yeah, the Everton game. I remember the boss night after that Everton game. Oh my days, it was one of the best things I've ever been to.
He scored the last. He doesn't do normal goals. He scores last minute winners.
The champ. Do
you know what? Right, he's going to be the next Gary Mack. Not that Gary Mack song. There's going to be a Divock Origi, one of them, because that's the thing.
With Divock, I have never celebrated a goal like we celebrated his goal in Madrid. Yeah, because you knew we had won the Champions League again, and some of the memories he's given me on a personal level from like the nights out I've had off the back of his goals have been incredible. And he is an absolute legend, but he is not good enough to play for Liverpool Football Club.
No, it's time's up.
The best way I can describe what I feel like watching Divock Origi now is he doesn't care if he's on the bench or if he's playing. Yeah. And I think he quite likes being on the bench because at the end of the day, he's still saying to people,
I'm a Liverpool player.
Play for Liverpool. I've won in the Champions League.
He's just a chill guy, isn't he? And
but do you not feel like sometimes he comes on the pitch and plays that bad that he doesn't get played for
I don't know
more weeks because somebody who is a professional footballer cannot be that bad at football, stay as a striker. I am like Divock Origi was so painful to watch against Atalanta. Yeah. He was going on runs and then just basically passing them the ball and falling over. They had touched the ball and he had tripped. He couldn't pass straight. He couldn't tackle. He couldn't run. He couldn't do nothing.
No.
Nothing. And he's always been bad. He's just a legend.
He's just had some of the most wonderful
best
moments
way to describe him is Dirk Kuyt. He's a Dirk Kuyt was better than him.
Don't you dare bring Dirk Kuyt's name into Divock Origi.
Do you know where Dirk Kuyt scored them big goals? Yeah. That's what Divock's like, but he's so bad. He's so bad.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't play for Liverpool again.
No.
And I think he only got kept last year because he'd done this Champions League, and I don't think anyone.
It was more of a nostalgia.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone bid for him this year. I'm pretty sure that if someone would have come in for him, we would have sold him before Brewster.
And to be honest with you, on his last show, and I don't think anyone's going to come in for him again. He's going to have to go home. He's going to have to go to Belgium.
He's still young, you know. He's like 25.
Yeah, I think he's still got life in him. I think at the right club he could probably do well, but his style, his laid-back attitude doesn't suit the way we play.
Do you know who Divock Origi would be perfect for? Someone like Villa. Do you know where Benteke was at them? Like your Villas or your Fulhams.
Do you know what? Benteke, I have more about him.
Yeah, you could argue that. You probably could argue that.
I don't think he's suited for the Premier League. I think he
could be
needs
at Aspas. He could go to Spain and kill it.
Yeah. It just doesn't. Thanks, Divock, but
thanks for the memories.
Yeah.
I think my team. Oh, right, I'm going to go for Alisson.
Yeah. You were saying about Nico. He's not in great form.
Fabinho.
Ooh, there's a shout.
Reece Williams and Matip with Tsimikas. Matip's fit. Reece Williams fit. I'd rather have Fabinho right back. He played there for Monaco. You could go as far as saying...
You say there's no way he's going to change his system to a back three, is it?
Jones played right back against Brighton, granted for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
But I'd go as far as maybe saying that I don't think he could play Nico in a Champions League game. I don't think the boy's got confidence.
I don't think he can't. Literally,
at the minute though, like he blacked out of social media after the last bad game, and since then he's not played well. And I like Nico, I did, but I think
give the guy a break. Look, how old is he?
He's only 19. That's what I mean. I'm not going to say a bad word about him because he can still develop. Yeah. But from what I've seen so far, I'd go as far as saying he's not good enough for Liverpool ever.
Oh, I don't know about
that. He's good enough for the Prem. But I don't think he's good enough for it. He is a long way off this lodging trend.
No. I'm not having that. Couple of months back, you go through all our podcasts, right? Couple of months back, we were saying, oh, he's fantastic.
I like
he's
him.
Only young.
I'm not going to sit there and slag him off, but look who he has got to be on the level of.
Well,
Trent.
And so, that's his main flaw.
So
he's not the best right back in the world.
When I'm saying he's not good enough for Liverpool, he's not going to stay at Liverpool because he's not good enough to dislodge the player above him. You've got to be given competition. Do you really think Trent Alexander-Arnold's losing sleep over Nico Williams? No. Honestly.
No. But he doesn't need to, yeah.
But he doesn't need to anyway. If Nico progresses, fair enough. But for me, I still think it's crazy that we let However go, who seemed to have been more progressed.
But look what we got for it.
Yeah, I know. But However could play centre-back and right-back.
Yeah.
Nico can't.
Yeah, I'm not going to go too far on Nico because...
I like him, and I'm not going to slag him off myself. I just feel as though he shouldn't be starting.
At the moment, he's not ready.
He's not got the confidence to start.
I agree, he shouldn't be starting. But,
at the minute.
But needs must.
I wouldn't say needs must, though. I'd go as far as saying Fab could play there.
Could, yeah.
Only a few more weeks till the Ox is back. I do think the Ox will play there till Trent's back.
Yeah,
I do think that'll probably happen.
I got a couple of texts off mates, actually, watching this podcast saying, by the way, that was a show.
Yeah, I do think it'll happen. When the Ox is back, and I think he's about 2 weeks off. So yeah, that'd be me back for obviously Alisson in goal.
Yeah.
I'd go Hendo, Holden with Genie and Jones. Yeah. That's probably just good.
That's nailed on, just through to...
We've got no one else.
Yeah, like
and then... Or Hendo, Holden with Genie and Bobby. And then it'll be Jota, Mane and Salah.
That could work.
4-3, 4-2, 4-1-2. What was it?
Whatever it is, yeah.
Well, no, it's 4-1-2-1-2, isn't it?
You're going too FIFA on this.
I'm sure that's the 4. Oh no, 4-3-2-1. It is, isn't it? It's 4-3. It's basically 4-1-2-1-2, but it's 4-3-2-1.
4-2-3-1.
Yeah, but they have two Holden, but usually don't they? Because they'll have Hendo and Genie Holden with Bobby.
Well, yeah, 4-2-3-1 in it. So Henderson and...
It's basically 4. It's basically 4 attack and the rest defend.
Yeah.
That's the. I'm gonna go with 2-0, which is mad for me.
I am, for once, going to agree with that.
And do you know who's going to score?
Jota.
Curtis Jones with a screamer. One day, Curtis, you're going to do this for me. Because I can't keep saying it, mate. But yeah,
Jota. I reckon Jota will get both.
Man of the minute, isn't he?
And he still won't get a FIFA inform card. For anyone who's got FIFA, that Jota
I made
watch
up,
card.
I lost my one to watch card, so I hope he doesn't get one all season. Won't make me feel as bad. But yeah, nice one as always. We'll be back. Back on Thursday. The next episode will be live.
I will be hanging out my backside on Thursday.
Friday. We're back Friday because of work commitments and stuff. Yeah, so we're back Friday. We'll be discussing the Ajax game and building up to the Wolves game on Sunday. And it's fair to say, also, if you are watching on YouTube, every midweek podcast will now, from the Ajax game, be, what's the word? The watershed will be on it.
No longer child friendly.
Yeah. So obviously we have to be child friendly. One podcast a week for the radio. And then one podcast a week we can say what we really think. Because believe you me, if I could speak how I wanted to speak about VAR today, I would have. But yeah. Up the Reds. We're back next week. Hopefully, next time we speak, Ste,
we'll be smiling.
We've qualified out the group.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Up the Reds.
Up the Reds, indeed.